Alright everyone, today's story takes you to a small town stuck in a legendary tale. What's in there, you ask? Well, their target is a bank vault that's disappearing in 4 days. While time's ticking, they have to pull off 3 international heists in 4 days. Sounds like an extreme challenge. At first, Atai was hesitant, but Duan, with his address, was like a crazy money printer encouraging him to join. Atai joined up, followed by hackers, drivers, and muscle teammates, all ready to stir the pot. First stop, a small bank in Paris. Atai was as nervous as a shrimp without its shell. He pretended to be a passerby, sneaked into the bank's restroom, and waited for backup. What an undercover genius. Duin seized the moment, ambushing the bank while the guard opened the door. What a heroic warrior. A hacker girl stepped in, spoke foreign language, and totally bewildered the guy, who called for the manager. Duin acted fast, quietly leading Atai to the vault, almost bursting into dance from excitement. Atai jammed to the music, twirling in front of the vault, like he was dancing. Subtitles. In less than a minute, they successfully opened the vault as fast as Superman. They casually strolled out after completing their first score, like they dodged the bad guys. However, a bunch of cops had them in their sights. Talk about being a bit too flashy. Atai and the gang returned to their base, celebrating their first score like champions. Watching Duan dance, Atai felt a little thrill in his heart. He was crushing on her. But seeing Duan cozying up with Tontin made Atai a bit anxious. So Atai followed, asking about their past, talk about being curious. Everyone has a story. Gwen was the rich kid whose life was as boring as watching paint dry. They talked about plans for tomorrow in Prague. Oh, they are here for a luxurious experience. Atai, with the box, acted like a branch employee. What a sly fox. When presenting fake documents, Atai thought he'd get caught, but to his surprise, it went smoothly. Teens, Atai just pretended to use his hand to open the door. What a skill. Then Duan imitated him. What a hilarious imitation show. Suddenly Atai asked, "What's your relationship with Tontin?" Gwen denied it. The conversation ended up being overheard by Tontin beside them. This is truly the peak of awkwardness. Subtitles. A guard suddenly showed up, but Gwen swiftly took care of him. Atai started cracking the vault. Meanwhile, the guard in the surveillance room noticed something was off. The hacker girl quickly reported to Tontin. It was a match made in heaven. Tontin put on a mask, getting ready for his superhero rescue mission. He took down the guards one by one with a tranquilizer gun. Talk about channeling 7. But oddly enough, the cops searched the wrong bank. Who told them not to memorize their maps? Atai faced a disastrous time cracking the code, feeling the immense pressure. After calibrating himself, he tried again and succeeded. What a genius. However, an intense moment happened where the password plate bounced back. They miraculously opened the vault, the cash sparkled in front of them, and they cheered. Just when they were about to succeed, an alarm blared urging them to retreat. They hurriedly stuffed the cash. Don't think escaping means everything's okay. Atai found himself getting stood up. Gwen looked on in disappointment, feeling like a halved orange totally crushed. With sirens blaring, Hans made a lightning escape. Subtitles. He suddenly noticed a lady cyclist bike, only to find it was locked. Subtitles. Then a kind-hearted young man happened to pass by, and Hans didn't hesitate to push him aside and rode off into the street. Using his superb riding skills, Hans shook off the police, enjoying a racing game. However, the cops caught up again. This chase seemed never-ending. Hans spotted a train and got a bright idea. He ditched the bike and sprinted towards the train. Finally, he safely hopped onto the train, as if he had a second chance at life. Exhausted, Hans returned home only to find 2 women waiting for him at the dinner table. Surprised, he didn't notice their presence. His brain was flying. Hans finally reacted. These 2 really caught him off guard. Gwen apologized to the man, saying she had left him behind during the heist, sincere as can be.